Welcome back to Space Engineers. I am Chief Engineer River, or Engineer River. I don't know. I'm the only person on this planet. I guess I'm the king. Who the heck knows? In any way, at least I don't think there's anybody else on the planet. Maybe there's some aliens. It's an Earth-like planet. It's not necessarily Earth, right? So, in any event, I did one little thing, which was, well, I did a little bit of mining, and I needed to put some steel plates in this thing. Let me turn on the HUD and my welding tool. Then we can see I put in 800 steel plates because I just don't have any inventory space. I could, and really we took the biggest inventory off that respawn pod last episode. But I was over here thinking about how I wanted to lay these things out, and I want to put our large cargo container like right in this area. I was thinking that maybe we'd have our landing pad over this way, that we could go out this way. And I was standing over here and I noticed, like, I don't have it right now, but if we come back over, here, let's put on 3. Right, maybe I had this in my hand where the ore detector goes further, but I noticed, wait a minute, this says nickel. So if we come over here further, let's go down in the hole. So I dug a new hole, which, I might as well grab these extra stones while I'm down here, but there's nickel right there. So that's really what we need. That's like the big holdup for this tier, right? Now we're going to need to get silver, and I'm not sure that we can even build a proper ship without some silver, but we're going to go for it, right? Because the first thing we want to do is make a mining ship. But there we go. So I have a lot of nickel now. So we really like a non-issue. Anytime we need more, we'll go down and grab a bunch. Put it in here. Usually I like to put the stone in first because the process is so quick. And so now our problem's going to be this basic refinery doesn't really process things that fast. So might have to sit here waiting on that at times. But I queued up a lot of the things that we need. And then the problem that I keep having is that this inventory gets full. So let's go ahead. Oh, we don't have any interior plates. All right, let's grab some more of these. I think we need these. I know we need some of these. And let's just put them in here for now. And then I wanted to sort of lay out the layout for you guys. Hopefully be like the super uber prepared YouTuber. But I was running out of stuff, and I think it's a good time to start. While we still have a little bit of daylight, I think it does make a difference on the videos. So we can probably put this back in here, and then might as well. I think we need some of these. There we go. I want those steel plates too. We can start doing the next thing. All right, there we go. So what do we need for this interior plate? Oops. Never fails, right? Yeah, we don't have any interior plates. But there's no reason our production won't go ahead full speed. And maybe we can lay down the next thing, right? So you can kind of see now that I've welded it up this much. Let's get that out of there. Where we have an opening here and an opening over here. And then there's also an opening right underneath of there. So what I was thinking of is I put the cargo container like right here, right? And then that way the, what do you call it? The cargo container opening, I can like take this out once I put it down, like go underneath of there. Because it looks like there's enough room for me to get in under here, and we can put a conveyor across here eventually. Now I say eventually because the conveyors are a little bit expensive and we didn't have enough nickel, but now that's really like a non-issue for us. So picture a conveyor that would go underneath of there, and then the question is, if we're going to have conveyors, do I even need to put these right next to each other? But I kind of wanted to, at least that was my plan, again, because I didn't expect to have all that nickel. But let's just expand this out a little bit. I think this thing is 3 long. And if we put it the way I'm picturing, I think I'm going to need to be able to get to both sides of it. Alright, so that's the first. So we'll have to talk about, maybe the ship should, I think maybe we'll have the dock go out this way where the ship parks right in line with this. So like I said, we may skip one of these towers when we go out another 10, but we'll lay that out in a minute. Let's see what goodies we have in here. More steel plates and motors. Where's those? Yeah, the interior plates. Oh, I don't even have any interior plates lined up. Why not? I need 360 of them. Yeah, I never queued those up. Oh, there you go. So let's queue up 400. Alright, well let's lay out where the ship will go. Probably easier to jump down here. So I'm going to keep with my 10 by 10 grid idea. So this would be like the first row, right? So that'll be 2. We're going to have to fly. I think that's 10. And then we come out where... Like this would be where the tower would be, but then let's make sure. I need to recount. We don't have ice yet, so I don't want to waste that. So this is 1, 2, 3. No, this would be. Oh, took damage. Wasn't quick enough about hitting the X. Right, so this is where what do you call it would be the, you know, this is 10 right here, so this would be out 1 because we want it to be the inside, right? So now we'll go 10 this way. And what do we want? We want 4. It's 1, 2. Let's go down here and then right ourselves. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. What am I doing? Now I lost count.
Fuel low.
When you see your fuel low, get to the ground.
Fuel critical.
Yeah, look, we got down to 2. It's a good way to die. There's something else I can do. Oh, wait, we're not getting fuel in here? Alright, let's see why we're not getting fuel in here. Control panel, O2, survival kit. Is there some kind of a setting that's not letting me... Did I just build it wrong or something? Now, why is this grayed out? Because it's off. Okay. Is that why it was grayed out? There you go. Yep, see, I took my fuel up. Now, also in here, I did make... One of the few things I did besides the mining is we have a hydrogen bottle. I made an extra one. Not that we really needed an extra one, but if I put that in my inventory, when it goes down below 25, it'll fill up again. So... Alright, so we've got the 10th block out there, so let's fly out there. And right, that means we want to go on number 11. There would be the next windmill or turbine. Right, so this would be the area where we will have our spaceship, particularly over on this side, but this will work out pretty good because we can have a spaceship parking space slash building area. And the sun's about to go down for us. Like I said, I'm trying to do a lot of this stuff during the daylight, but who knows? Oop, need steel plate? Okay. Do we have our light on? No, oh yeah, it was on. I'd like to at least get this laid out, so let's try to keep going with it. See what we're making over here. filled up again. So let's take some more things. I think we're going to use some of these over there. Let's yeah, so we need some more tubes, but that at least made us some space. Now did we... Yeah, we managed not to get any more steel plates. I didn't really count and queue up all the steel plates because they're just like, yeah, steel plates. We always need steel plates. Let me queue up another 500 of those. It's saying we don't have enough, but do we? Yeah. Not too much extra, but let's bring some of this stuff down so we can see it in the other. Those quantities are a lot lower than the steel, but good. The good thing is we got plenty of nickel, so that's always the key to this game, I think. There we go. There's some steel plates. Let's go. Yep. So now we need some more large steel tubes. Did I just not make enough, or are they queued up? I'd like to get them on the make. I don't know. So let's make 20 more of those, because I think we might need more for something else. Alright, let's get out here and finish this thing. Right, so then this area over here, we can park the thing, and then we can talk about, you know, probably, yeah, right in this area, you know, probably this block. Let's, oops, not close enough. Oh, that's right. I'm on the, just so you know, as you upgrade your tools, you can go further. So what I'm going to do is build a conveyor from here all the way over and down to this block right here. Right, so that we can put a conveyor tube underneath of here. The container will be right here, and then that will feed into underneath of here. So let's go down. Makes a lot of grunting noise. Yeah, where are we at? Great. Let's not face it too much. You know, we may go and upgrade our this one. All right, see, there's an opening right there. All right, so let's get back up there. All right, and then ay. Let's go grab some interior plates. We'll need those. Well, we need to get them out of that inventory, and let's get some construction components as well. We need large steel tubes, which we're not making yet. So now, but I think with these, we can then put this in place, and then some of this stuff I can do in the dark, get us to the next step. So if you look, what I'd like to do is put this right here, but I really probably shouldn't have taken that guy out quite yet, huh? So let's go 7. Right, and this has a space on the bottom. All 4 sides have a big opening. So there we go. So you can picture these to be a little bit close together, but again, this is all kind of temporary, quick, easy, down and dirty, not trying to make this, you know, super uber build here. And then let's go back to 2. All right, is this the bottom middle? Yep. All right, so there's our opening. So we'll have a conveyor come down into conveyor junction, go over and up into here, which we probably start doing, right? Let's, oops. Control 2, let's go to G, conveyor blocks. Okay, so here's where we run into a progression problem where we're going to need to build something in order to get to something else. All right, so we need conveyor parts, and let's see, let's ship parts. Yeah, here's all the different little conveyor parts. So it looks like, well, we've built those things. Do we have to, we don't have to build a medium cargo container, do we? Oh, you know what? We have to build a cargo container. So let's go build a small cargo container. Just so that we can get to the next step, right? Now these are okay to have, and as a matter of fact, it might not be bad. Maybe we'll put one. This will be like sort of our... Yeah, we have the survival thing over here. There's no way we can connect into that. Yeah, you know what? It's a little unfortunate. I mean, I could do something like this, but I don't really need it to attach to that. Sometimes it's good to have a whole separate little thing at that point, right? Where you can just dump stuff in and it doesn't get sucked out of there, like if you're trying to hold off something for a project. So we needed some of these metal grids, and then I really should have looked at the other thing we needed. Small steel tubes and a display. Okay, we don't have a display. We have a couple of these. Is that enough? I don't think it is. Oh yeah, it was just enough. Alright, so I need a display. Well, you know what we can do? Yeah. Do we have... Where are we stopped? Oh, because we're full again? Yeah, let's queue up 10 displays. Get some stuff out of here. This would be... Interior plates. Let's see if we got... Yeah, we have everything in there. Weld on this guy a little bit, get some of the stuff out of our inventory. So we need a bunch more interior plates for there, and then we need one display. Come on, display. How much do we have to go? Quite a bit. Now there is a way to move this production around. And every time I try, inventory is full again. What? Oh, because we're really kind of just all full up. Yeah, that's... This one needs a bunch of interior plates, right? Alright, well anyway, and then the other thing that I want to put in here, so this is our refinery, and then what I would like to do is, let's switch back control 1, and then 5, right? Oh, that's the refinery, 6. We have this guy, so he has connections on the bottom and the side. So I think what I'd like to do, if I can figure out which way is which, right, is well, yeah, I'd rather have the opening on the bottom. Let's do this. So there's an opening on the bottom. Let's spin it around this way, right? And these sides, I can't tell the difference as to which one is on the bottom. So let's bring it up here. And then... Alright, the bottom is to the left. This is like playing like one of those games where... Alright, so if I put it like this... Alright, it'll just... We don't need an extra conveyor to attach it to the refinery. And then, let's go down below. I won't get hurt from here, I don't think. Alright, so there's our refinery. And then eventually, oops. Yeah, we need to talk about upgrading these tools. I don't know if we can do it in that basic refiner or not, but we just might if we can. Right, so then we can put another conveyor into that. Let's see how we're doing over here. I think it's more steel plates. Yeah, I think just for the sake of everything being full, we just need to start adding components to things. Need more steel tubes. That's got everything it needs. There we go. That takes this big step forward. We need 10 more displays. And we're 5 short on the computers. So we need to make a couple more computers. I'm pretty sure. so yeah, let's queue up. We already got the displays queued up. 10 more computers as well. And then, do I have interior plates? Did I use? No, yeah, we do. So we can go down. Oh no, we gotta finish building this guy. We need that darn display first. Well, you know what we can do? This is something I wanted to do anyway. I'll do a little bit of it. Let's just see. Something in here is liable to have a display. Like this. If you look, we're in the H2O generator. Nah, no display there. Does this seat have a display? No. Why does nothing have a display over here? Yeah, this isn't going to have a display. Nah, I don't think there's any... There might be something in there that has a display, but I'm going to grind this thing up before we go too far. Probably in between when it's nighttime out. There's nothing much to it, right? Just sit here grinding and get the steel plates. But I didn't want to do that until we had that cargo container built, because as you see, I'm struggling for things to do. See, like, yeah, you know, that might have been a mistake taking those steel plates out. Now that I think about it, because I don't know if we need that many more. Yeah, we did. Good. Okay, metal grids. Do we have more metal grids? Can we take some of them out? Do we need more of them here? Yep. Yeah, see, I shouldn't have taken... Well, I guess it doesn't make too much difference in the end, but I really shouldn't have taken those out. Yeah, so we really need the 10 displays. Let's just take, what do we need, 8? We got 3. 2. There's the computers. Oh, and display. Yay! See, now at least what I can do is we have this small cargo container. It's not connected to anything else, but if I don't want these things in my inventory. So the good thing is it won't steal anything from this into the rest of the system, right? So that's kind of handy to have. Like, say you didn't want to process really ice a lot of times. Like if you want to hold off your ice, you don't want, if we build a hydrogen tank down here, this thing will keep sucking all the ice out. And you could probably turn it off from sucking it out, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to have that. So let's grab all of the stuff out of here and see if we have everything we need. No, we need 60 small steel tubes. I'm gonna make 100. Let's see what we need for this one. Nothing. Good. So we have our next level refinery. Good to go. And we need a few more displays and a few more metal grids. Oh, no. We need to make 100. Though we do, now that we have that access to that nickel, making these things won't be nearly as bad. We got nickel and cobalt, so we can make a ton of those. Not that we need a ton of them, but... Alright, so now the other thing we're going to need is, to make these conveyors, is a good amount of motors and a good amount of interior plates. And I think small steel tubes. We got 40 extra small steel tubes, so I think I'll make, let's make, just to get started, 100 motors, 100 more interior plates, 100 more small steel tubes.
Energy low.
Okay, thank you for the warning. Yeah, if you notice, there's a temperature blow there, so when it gets cold, you use much more energy than you would otherwise, and it does tend to get cold at nighttime. Energy not low. Alright, so what do we need? Good, so now we have this guy. Now none of them are connected. Well, they the assembler and the refinery are, but right, and what do we need for this? Displays and metal grids, which we were working on. Alright, so now we have the next tier up. And if you look, if we click on, and we can't click on there, here. One of the things that we could make, if you come here and click on tools, so really small blocks, builder, planner, I'm not even 100% sure, I haven't really used that, but if we want to get 2 upgrades, we need silver ingots, but which we don't have. But we can make a better grinder. We can make a better enhanced drill. Now this will give us a little more range and be a little bit quicker. Right, but we're going to need some of the things, right? So, which is fine with me because really, in the very near future, I just want to come into here and take most of this out of here anyway. Oops. Okay, you know what? Let's let it finish its. Let it finish its production run there. But then we can, you know, as soon as we can switch over to using that one. Really, the biggest thing sometimes is the refinery. You know, I don't know that we even really need this other assembler, but keeping this refinery going can be a thing at times. Alright, so do we have... We don't have much in the way of interior plates, so that's... I think that's what we need to lay down these conveyors. And then I'm going to take a little recording break, reassess, and... But I want to put the conveyors down with you guys. So why are we... Oh, because I put them... You know what, let's just let this thing finish its... Yeah, see, this happens too. I'm not sure how to do this. Like, how do we cancel whatever this thing is working on? Right, because it's really talking about the other one over there. Maybe what we can do is just take some of this stuff out so we don't. And whatever's in here is not in there anyway, so we can take some iron and nickel. Hopefully that doesn't shut down the other production. Yeah, I need to figure that out. It's the second time. It's not really that annoying, but... Alright, if we put all these things in... Yeah, see, it's working on our tools. So if we come over here... What do we have? Do I hit the wrong grinder? Yeah, I must have clicked the wrong grinder. Oops. Right, so I made an extra wrong grinder, but now what I can do is come up here and sort of, I don't know, I'll put these in the same places, not that it matters that much, and then when we come to our hotbar, well, let's go take these other ones out, because you may see this at some point in your career. Right, so we're just going to put all these other tools over here, and then, we do have a bunch of stuff in this already, and if we come back here and we hit G, you may notice these are grayed out, and it's because we no longer have those tools available to us, right? So I'm going to just drag them down so I get them in the right spot. Grinder and the better drill. It's like it has sergeant bars on there. So well, I don't know. Isn't that corporal one bar? Well, that's I know that's something on a lot of them. But anyway, yeah. So. Until we get silver, we can't upgrade. But hey, we got a little bit of an upgrade to our equipment. And I'm still waiting on some interior plates, right? And motors. So what I want to do is jump down here. And so we should have now, let's go to G, and then I'm going to go to Control 2, right? And we're going to go to the conveyors. Now see how we got these extra conveyors? Now, I like to put these in a kind of a certain order. So I reloaded the tools. Let's go back to character tools. But I don't need the digger, right, on this bar. Probably don't even need it on that other bar. Probably should set up a third bar or something where I don't, why have this take up one of our choices? But there you go. So this second one we'll make for doing like conveyor like stuff because it'll be common enough. So we'll do like the conveyor tube, the conveyor 90, the junction, and then what I like to do is put the small conveyor tube, the small 90, right? And then there's small conveyor junction, right? Now if we need something else, like we'll need, not an ejector, but eventually we want a connector. So let's see. Oh, you know what? I think we need to build the ejector in order to get to the connector. That's what it is. Right? Or, so a connector will let us connect the ship to the dock. Here we go. So we need to build a small conveyor, right? Which I think is that right there. Now what do we need for it? And then we'll do one. So we need some construction components. Of course, we don't have any construction components. Now, is this guy done making stuff? Yeah, let's... For now... I do want these interior plates. I put it back in there again. Let's just grab everything out of here. Should be able to put it in here. Let's just for now make 100 of these. We'll use more than that, but and the nice thing is all this stuff gets faster. So let's come back over here. And then we'll just grind this guy back up. And then let's come back to G, all right? And we should ejector connector. There we go. So we're going to put a connector on here, right? So let's go down here and design this thing. So let's start out with the straight tube here, right? And it should orient itself fairly well. Now right here, what I want to do is I want to put one of these connectors so that we can go every which way. Oh, I'm not unable to place, because we're into the ground, I think. So let's go and do this, which is the reason we came out here. So I'm going to go back to control 1, 3. All right, we're right here, so we need to, I guess we need to crouch a bit. All right, that should be enough. Control 2, and then back to 5. Yep. Go back to 3. Right, and then this one can come straight down, and then we need a 4. Well, it's 4 on my thing. Right now, well, actually, no. You know what we need? Let's. Whoa. What happened there? Huh. Did somebody shoot us? I don't understand why that blew up. Yeah, look, we lost our... Is it because I ground on that thing? Huh. We lost our large cargo container. It stops crouching. Huh. That was a bit of a mystery. I mean, it sounded like something shot it, right? Let's pick these up. Wonder what would have done that. Well, let's just keep going for the moment. It gives me something else to do, right? Alright, so probably have the same problem here. Let's crouch and do 3, 3. Is it because we're kind of like in the ground with these things, or let's just clear all this out, right? I don't see how that would have caused it, but it's not like we can't just... Alright, so now let's go back to Control 2, 5. Oh, look, that thing fell off. Means we have to grind all this down. Alright, and then, yeah, so these don't, like, attach. They're sort of separate from the rest. Let's do 3. Oop, one too many. So we need a 4. And that's perfect. And then we'll go back up and... Yeah, really... Not 3. And then we're going to need... Let's go back to 1. Yeah, so we're going to have to put this guy back on there. I guess, do we lose everything? That's a bummer. If anybody knows why that might have exploded, please let me know. So I don't do it anymore, right? So then I'm going to do another, yeah, back to 2, 3, right? And then I think it might be good to do a junction instead. It's cost a little bit more, but just in case we want to put something else in, I think that's a likelihood. And I don't think it costs that much more, right? Now, the only other problem we're going to have is, yeah, I might need to take this out before, well, no, I could take out the steel block, would be easier. So there we go. So we'll have just a little tiny conveyor system here, and then I'll rebuild this.
Inventory.
Yeah, I'll rebuild this thing. While it's dark out, let me, I'll just rebuild this. It's a shame it costs a lot of money. And I would like to figure out what happened there. I don't think we lost anything else. Did we lose the battery? No, battery's still fine. All right. I'll even look into why that happened. Try to understand it. All right. See you guys in a few minutes. Okay. I finally got this built. I struggled. If you're going to build a long tube like this, definitely get it all built and in place. And then the other thing I think is we needed to have a connector like here because I don't think it was connecting right to this. So I'm wondering if that didn't, like when I destroyed like one of these conveyor connectors here, like it was over here, I'm wondering if that wasn't what caused that thing to explode somehow. Because like this thing is now anchored into the grid where I don't think it was properly before. So what might have happened is, this is my guess, is that it caused, like when you're building this tube, let me see if I can explain it well. It started, like when I got out to here and then I went up top and tried to build that other connector, what happened was it ended up like being out of place, right? Like the mass of this like moved this out of whack. And I'm thinking what happened is because I built all this stuff but didn't build anything to connect it up in there yet, like I didn't even put it in place, when I deleted this, I think it changed the physics of that container, which wasn't actually bolted to the grid, and it probably like caused it to glitch into the grid in a sense, into the steel blocks there. So I don't know, but anyway, then I struggled because I had to delete all of this. So try to lay out all of this stuff, especially if you have a real long run like that. But normally I do. like tend to do that, so I guess I never really ran into that problem before, but that's my guess. Just lay out all of these ahead of time, and I don't think you're going to have a problem. By the way, once I did get it all the way attached, these were all still yellow. And I'm like, so that's why I ended up putting in that other connector up there. And I'm sure there's a more graceful way of doing it, but it doesn't really cost that much more. And I guess if we ever want to come off and put another container, we'll have a few more options, right? But in any event, there we go. So we got our little conveyor system in place. Sorry I didn't show all that on camera. I wanted to kind of get to a certain point by the end of each of these episodes, just so it keeps moving along. But we have a connector out here. So what this connector does is allow us to actually go and like we'll land the ship on here, and then we'll be able to connect directly to the base, and all the stuff can get sucked out of here into that container or into the refinery. So as we go out mining, it'll just bring stuff. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to build 2 of these, but it would also let us like park and recharge the vessel. So if we're going to build a spaceship, we'll need one of these. Not sure if we'll use the same one. Like I said, it's probably a little easier just to make a parking space where, you know, kind of out of the way. We'll have a parking space right here, so that I don't know that we need both vessels always attached, but whatever. It's not that big a deal to build another conveyor and put another one of these connectors someplace. So what I'm going to do in between the episodes is come over here. I don't know if I have any steel plates. Yep, 1. Or no, I just welded up that little bit. But I think I put a bunch. I was looking at something else. Right, and I picked up the stone that was down there. Where is the refinery? There it is. So we'll have him process. So I did go gather up some more materials just so we had more iron and whatnot. And I might do a little bit of mining. But what I'm going to do is come over here and weld up some of these blocks fully. So I'm most certainly going to do some mining, and then I'll try to get just enough, hopefully enough stuff we can get a good shot at building a ship over here on this spot that I'm about to weld up. And then that way, what happens is if you build a ship and then you have the thrusters, because of the heat, I'm assuming, of the thrusters, or the force of them, they can destroy the blocks. Now, they're not going to destroy it too quickly. They may damage these a little bit. But if you just had these, they can just like blow them out like almost no problem. So I'll probably weld up some of this area and maybe just weld like our pathway through here because it'll look a little bit nicer. Right? No particular reason you have to do that other than, you know, obviously aesthetics are a thing in life. And so I'll weld like, you know, kind of our pathway through here so it looks nice. And then into this area will be where we park our ship. And, you know, so we have a pretty good start here. I know it doesn't, in some ways it doesn't feel like we got a lot done, but getting these conveyors built and getting to the next tier is a big thing. If we come over here and look, I don't know if I showed you this earlier, I'm kind of forgetting. I definitely meant to. When it comes to production, we could make the better tools if we had a little bit of silver. So we may have to go find some silver, but I think we can get by because I started to take apart that pod a little bit, so we should have, unless they blew up, we should have some, yeah, we do have like a detector component, and we have like 4 radio components, so we should have a few of the things that we need, and I'll go take apart the rest of that ship in between the episodes, but it was just, that was right in the middle of things exploding. So you can see I got quite a few steel plates right at this point, so we're in pretty good shape. I'll go gather up some more stuff, weld up, you know, some more of this stuff in between the episodes, and then we'll go from there. So next episode we'll be building a miner, or hopefully we'll get it all done in one episode. I'll try to condense it as much as I can and get it to one. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. We've now made the next step where we have what I'll call a Tier 2 base, right? This was the Tier 1 stuff, and now we got the Tier 2 base, which is really what you need to do to build a spaceship. I think we could get by with a miner, but with these extra components we could build in here, we should be able to definitely get a miner going, with the exception that I'm not sure if we don't need some silver. So hopefully we can get by without the silver, get most of the miner built, and there's a few things we can't build that should be okay. But we'll see. All right, guys. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.